Hello everyone, I'm going to give you the movie of Matilda. So Matilda is the greatest movie of all time. That came out in the 90s and one of the classic days. So the movie is basically about this girl named Matilda. She has she was a brilliant she was a brilliant girl. She was a brilliant girl who always loved to read books. But her family they were they didn't like her because she was smarter than them. Like Matilda's family, Harry, Zinnia, and Michael, they were more into other stuff like eating dinner and watching TV. So so Matilda has a bad family. Her family didn't appreciate her because she was the smartest girl in the world. And like Harry, he's a crook and a con artist because he's a used car salesman who sells broken cars for unfair prices, making people to pay a lot of money on them cars, like stolen car parts. That's why he was under surveillance by the FBI agents. But Harry and Zena didn't believe it. They just called him speedboat salesman. And then Matilda wanted to read, but her father scoffs at her. A, a book? He said, a book? What do you need a book for? To read? Why you want to read when you got a television set sitting right in front of you? Harry didn't appreciate Matilda at all. All he liked is his son Michael and his wife Zinnia. He was rude and dismissive towards Matilda. And when Matilda went to the shop with her dad and brother, Matilda said, "Dad, you're a crook." And then Harry scoffs at her and tells her that he's big. He said, "Listen, you wiseacre. I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong. And there's nothing you can do about it." And then Matilda decided to pay him back by gluing his hat to his head. But before that, Harry had punished Matilda, and then Matilda decided to bleach his hair to make him look silly. And then when Matilda and her family got to a restaurant, after Zinnia went to bingo, Harry had trouble taking off his hat until they started causing a scene, and then Matilda laughed a little. And then when they got home, they decided to eat dinner and watch TV. And then Harry saw Matilda read a book. He got so furious that he walked up to her and asked her if she was in the family. And then Matilda told him that it's Moby Dick. And then Harry got offended and said, "Moby what?" And then he snatched Matilda's book and then said, "This is filled with trash. I'm fed up with all this reading. You're one way. You're going to start acting like one." And then Harry grabbed Matilda's head and forced her to watch TV until Matilda blew up the TV. And then the next day, Miss Trunchbull's Quantingham Hall Elementary School was so terrifying that she used to be in the Olympics, and everyone in the school was terrified of her because of her looks. How Miss Trunchbull bullied people, how nasty she is to students. For example, she threw Amanda Thripp by her pigtails and threw her over the fence. Luckily, Amanda Thripp was okay. And then Miss Tilda teacher, Miss Honey, was so wonderful. She is the epitome of a wonderful teacher that people could ever have. So when Miss Honey was recapping her students with multiplication, Matilda said a big answer. And then Miss Honey was amazed by her. And then she went to Miss Trunchbull's office and suggested Matilda move up to the next level, but Miss Trunchbull refuses because she thinks that Miss Honey couldn't handle Matilda like her parents would. And then when Miss Honey visited Matilda's home, her father and her mother scoffs at Miss Honey that Matilda does not get anywhere by acting intelligent. And then when Miss Honey said Harry could be sued by selling faulty cars, Harry said, "Sued by who? Who you been talking to? What car?" And then Miss Honey didn't get through with them. And then until the next day, Miss Trunchbull had a simile that she called out this student named Bruce that because she accused him of eating her chocolate cake, so she forced Bruce to eat a cake in front of the children. And then when this cook bring a ginormous chocolate cake, everyone would look disgusted. And then Miss Trunchbull told Bruce he would not leave the stage until he consumed the entire chocolate cake. And then Bruce consumed himself. It just looked like he was about to give up, but Matilda got up and said, "You can do it, Bruce." And then everyone joined the same thing. "You can do it, Bruce." And then Bruce finally finished the cake, but Miss Trunchbull forced the students to stay after school for 5 hours. And then Matilda's classmate went to look for something. They found a lizard. And then suddenly Miss Trunchbull showed up, and she was very angry that the car that Mr. Wormwood sold her. And then she took her anger out on Matilda by taking her and putting her in a long room with a chokey in it. So yeah, children couldn't breathe in children because of long nails sticking out, the choke in Miss Trunchbull's office. And then Miss Trunchbull visited Miss Honey's class. Miss Honey wondered where Matilda was, and then Lavender said, "In this chokey." And then Miss Honey go rescue Matilda. And then when Miss Trunchbull grabbed a glass of water, she saw a newt and accused Aquila, Matilda. But Matilda said it's not a snake, it's a newt. But Matilda used her power to tip the glass over to make the newt land on Miss Trunchbull, but then she freaked out and then she suddenly leaves. And then Miss Honey and Matilda walk to the house and they discuss how Miss Honey's life was the same as Matilda. Like Miss Honey, she was living on Miss Trunchbull, and then she lived in a cottage, and then Matilda and Miss Honey decided to go to Miss Trunchbull's house to get the treasure, but Miss Trunchbull came back suddenly, unexpectedly, and she screaming Harry Wormwood over the phone, threatening to sue and kill him because his criminal business. And then Miss Trunchbull saw something unusual, that the lid on top of the chocolate box is open. And she tried to catch someone who's in the house, but Matilda and Miss Honey got so lucky that they made it out alive without getting caught. And then Matilda got home. Her parents were talking to the FBI. They were arguing a bit, and then Matilda went back to Miss Trunchbull's house to get her gifts, like the doll and a jar of chocolates. And then Miss Honey was very delighted. And then Miss Trunchbull came to the class and asked the student to confess who was her house. And then when she found out it was Matilda, Miss Honey was trying to cover up for her. And then Matilda used her powers again to haunt Miss Trunchbull. Then Miss Trunchbull got scared, and then the kids threw her out of the school, and she was never to be seen again. And then Miss Honey got her true home back, and Matilda was a frequent visitor. But then Harry, Zinnia, and Michael had to get away from the FBI because Harry's illegal scheme was getting more out of hand. And then when they picked up Matilda didn't want to go to Guam. She wanted to stay with Miss Honey. And then they signed the adoption papers and then flee to Guam, never to be seen again in Matilda's life. And Matilda was ever happy.